Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Friday, and it's been a pretty good week. Definitely price action has been a little bit better. So it's Friday, May 30th, and I'm watching the market today to see if my strategy presents itself. There's never any pressure for me to, you know, I never feel pressure to take a trade. If the opportunity presents itself, if my strategy presents itself, then I'll be happy to take a trade. And if not, I'm content to wait till next week. So let's see what happens. I have 3 charts up today, and it's a little it's a little busy, that's for sure. But my bottom chart here, which is my working chart, I'm going to be on the 1 minute shortly. Let's go down to the 1 minute now. Up here I have my 15-minute chart, and then on the left I have a 4-hour chart, so I can keep an eye on the bigger picture. So Asia ranged overnight, moved up to London, and then we had a big drop down. This beautiful wick formed right here. This is, well, it looks like a venom. That's what ICT calls it. Anyway, it's a large wick that comes down, wicks, and then price moves up very quickly. So this has taken liquidity. And so now I'm just watching price action between, I've marked out my 8 o'clock to 9:30, the high and the low, and now I'm just watching to see either side if it breaks. If I look at the 4-hour, we're just basically ranging on the 4-hour. Overall, I'm bullish. Like on the higher time frame, I'm bullish, and my point of interest is to show you here on the 15-minute is this SIBI up here. So you can see it on the 4-hour, and the SIBI up here we reached on Thursday, yesterday, 2 o'clock. We reached that high, and I've taken the SIBI and marked it into quarterly quadrants. So that's currently what I'm watching. So I'm expecting price to go back up here. Is it going to go up here today? I don't know. We had news at 8:30. Overall, the news was very positive, more positive than I thought it was going to be. Positive for people. The numbers were good in terms of, consumers. So anyway, that's how I have my chart set up, and yeah. So that's basically where we are. Feels like price action is pretty similar to yesterday. It was a very slow start to the morning. I'm going to be looking for the first fair value gap shortly. I'm keeping that first fair value gap on my chart all day. I'm here in Canada. The weather has been a little bit better, and so my windows are open, so there's probably going to be a bit of traffic noise, so I apologize for that, but that's the way it is. So because price came down here, wicked liquidity, and then started to move up, I'm looking or anticipating for a bearish move this morning, taking out some liquidity and then a return to higher prices. That's kind of my framework for the day. So if I'm bullish and I'm looking for price to move higher, then I would anticipate price moving lower first. Price is moving lower, no fair value gap yet. We might have something forming here. This drop in price here on the 15 minute, this was a sweep of London high. So Asia low has not yet been taken. Oh yes, it has. So this long candle here that wicked down, this swept Asia, and then price moved back up. There's not much of an opening range gap, so I didn't mark it on my chart. It is a discount opening range, meaning that the range is below yesterday's settlement price. Price is below yesterday's settlement price. Here's where it would be. So here's the settlement price, and then, I mean, it's basically price opened here, so price opened basically where price closed yesterday. So I'm not going to put that on my chart. So really, I'm watching for price to break above this dark blue line or below this dark blue line. And there's really nothing to be done until one of those levels has been either broken above or below. So first thing this morning is I'm looking for the Venom model, ICT's Venom model. So I would want to see a sweep either to the buy side or the sell side. An aggressive sweep and then strong displacement. Now, if I don't find that, then my next strategy would be to wait until after 10 o'clock and look for a silver bullet. So those are my two go-tos for this morning. I've been much more patient waiting for my strategies to set up before taking a trade. I've been trading a lot less and just waiting for very clear price action, just allowing the market to bring to me the trade setups. And it's a much more relaxed way to trade when you know exactly what you're looking for. My focus is always on waiting for that setup and then trying to get like the best entry. So I'm trying to be as efficient and proficient in entering my trade setup and not so concerned about, whether the trade works out in terms of money. I'm looking for a sense of pride that when I see my setup, I have a good entry, I have good trade management, pyramiding in and out, and then an exit that brings me at least 1 to 2 risk to reward. That to me defines like a good trade. And even if the trade doesn't work out, if I hit stop loss or break even, in my mind, the trade was good because I adhered to all my rules and I was disciplined and I was patient. And that for me would be like a 9 out of 10, so profit for the day or profit on a particular trade is kind of secondary. I mean, of course, that's what we all want, but I'm really very focused on trade management because if I can get that right, then the rest kind of follows. So, that saying, begin with the end in mind. So price is just kind of bouncing around in here. I'm wondering if this is going to be our protected low this morning. And this candle was at 8:11. moving to the 5-minute. I like to rotate between the time frames just to get a better look and see what's happening. Boy, this candle was a huge wick here on the 5-minute. I'm going to take a look here at the new day opening gaps. So we've got a new day opening gap down here. And we have some liquidity areas unfilled here above. So we have about a 200 points between the 8 o'clock to 9:30 high and the 8 o'clock to 9:30 low. So between that high and low, it's about 200 points. I think yesterday it was 100 points. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. So we've got these two lows here. It'll be interesting to see if price wants to sweep this low again. And on the 1 hour, there's nice liquidity, low resistance liquidity down to this level here, which is 2725. I'm going to switch this view to the 1 hour, I think. So basically, again, you know, on the 1 hour, we're kind of in this range. So it's just best to watch price at this point. I'm going to move this to the 15-minute. We have equal lows on the 5-minute around here. And again, I'm waiting for the high or the low to be broken. And I won't be doing anything until and unless that's broken. That's one of my rules. Now, if it's not broken, you know, prior to 10 o'clock or shortly thereafter, then I'll be looking for possibly a silver bullet between 10 and 11 a.m. So it's good just to know what your rules are and follow them. But with this strategy, the ICT Venom strategy, I want to see buy side or sell side be run between 9:30 and 10ish. And we ranged a lot last night, so I would expect some good liquidity above and below Asia low and London high. First fair value gap is holding. Now, if I don't find a silver bullet between 10 and 11 a.m., then there's just no trade for me today. And then, we wait for next week. The whole idea for me is that I want to be finished trading no later than 11:30, like at the latest, ideally 11 a.m., because I have other things to do during the day. I got my dog, and weather's nice here in Canada that we need to be out. The winter is long here, so I have lots of things to do in the summer that I want to take advantage of. You can see on the 1 hour here, this is the 1 hour that we're in a range, and we want to see that range broken either to the downside or the upside. So right now, patience is the name of the game. Over the last three or 4 months, I've been trading opening range, breakouts, Scarface's 5-minute strategy, and I was just taking too many losses. So I've put a hold on trading that strategy for now and just focused on my ICT strategy, which I'm much more profitable with. So, I gave it 3 or 4 months, closer to 4 months, I think. And, I'm not saying that the strategy doesn't work. I'm just saying that I have higher profitability with the ICT strategies that I use. So, I don't want to trade a whole bucket load of strategies. I have my tried and true strategies that work for me, and so I'm gradually kind of narrowing down to those strategies. So, and the more disciplined I am on just the few strategies that I trade, the better off. My trading is more profitable. It's a more relaxed state for me. When you know what you're looking for, you're much more relaxed, and you just stop trading those dumb trades that take $100 here, $50 there, $100 here, because that really digs in at the end of the week and reduces your profitability. So this is a very similar circumstance to what happened yesterday. We had sort of a slow grind down, and the first fair value gap from yesterday held, and we had just a slow grind down. It was a nice trade opportunity. I didn't take it. I waited until the reversal. It was a breaker block yesterday, and I think I took 69 points from there. So I'm watching this wick. Consequent encroachment is around where we are right now, or it may want to sweep here. So I'm just watching. Again, this is the 5 minutes. Price might be looking to sweep 21,192 or 21,140, or you know, this blue line that I have here, which is the low between 8 and 9:30 a.m. So we dropped below the previous day low. This is the previous day low here. Consequent encroachment of this wick. There's the 50%. So this candle wicked down to the 75%. This is just, it's just upside down, right? So we can see that's 25, 50, and 75%. Let's see if it goes for a sweep here to sweep this new day opening gap from May 22nd. Just looking at this breaker, high, low, higher, high, lower, low. What's on the 5 minutes? Balance price range. It's a very similar price action to yesterday. Slow, you know, SIBI's holding, price moving down kind of slow. Still do not break this the low between 8 a.m. and 9:30. I mean, we did take out the 50% of this wick here. See if this breaker holds. So it's 10:01. This has now become an inverted fair value gap. So we didn't get a break below this level, and we haven't had a break above this level. So Venom Strategy did not meet my requirements this morning, so now it's 10:03. I'm going to consider looking for potentially a silver bullet, but I'm going to give this price action some time to figure out what it wants to do. So this breaker is holding for now, so price came back into this fair value gap, and it looks like the fair value gap and the bearish breaker are holding for now. But again, I am bullish on the higher time frame, right? So I'm keeping that in mind. Ideally I want a long, right? I want to be swimming in the same direction as the stream. I don't want to be the salmon. I don't want to be the salmon trying to swim against the current, so to speak. Okay, so this fair value gap looks like it's holding. Let's see if we can break above this breaker block here, disrespect it, and see if we can get a break of structure on the 5-minute. So if we look on the 1 hour here, so we had some consolidation, and then price has broken below, so this could be manipulation, and then price could be on the way up. So I'm kind of keeping that in mind. That higher time frame is always, let's look at the 4 hour. Yeah, so we took out this low, swept this low. Price looks like it's on the way back up. See if this breaker holds or if we disrespect it. If price were to return down to this fair value gap, we would have a balanced price range. So we would have a balanced price range on this side, and then that would be a nice long from there. I'm just going to take this off for now because we know that we went below the 50% consequent encroachment of this wick. So I'll just remove that. This is a very strong level here at the 830, at the 830, 8 to 930 high. So level is, I'm just going to say the hundreds. I don't need to say 21,000 every time, just at 420 up here. You know, if we look on the 15-minute, 420. This is a level that price repeatedly bumped up against. So that's an area that I'm watching to see if price can move above this 8 to 930 high. That would be a signal potentially that price wants to move higher. Now this price range here, you know, we want to buy in the discount area. So if we just put our GAN box on there, this is our 50% level here. So right now we're in premium of this leg, and that's why I would want to see price return to this fair value gap, create a balanced price range, and then continue higher. That's ideally what I'm kind of framing up in my mind. It's still early, it's only 10:11. That's a nice push up. So we've disrespected this bearish breaker block, so I'm going to remove that. Disrespected the first fair value gap. Reaching up into these levels here, these equal highs. if we can get a pullback. Here's our discount down here. The yellow is the premium area, and below the 50% is the green area. So this is the discount down here in the green. I'd really love to see price retrace back to this fair value gap. Create a balanced price range and then continue higher. We're supposed to have rain the next 3 days, and the sun is trying to come out, but there's pretty serious clouds. I want to take my e-scooter out today. I've got some running around to do. So you can't ride your e-scooter in the rain because it's like super slippery, and it's bad for the motor. Like, you can have a little bit of condensation on the motor, but you don't want puddles because that hurts your e-scooter. Maybe comment in the description below if you guys have an e-scooter that you zip around on. They're so much fun. My e-scooter is an Apollo, and so I have just the entry model, and so I ride around at 34 to 35 kilometers an hour, which is kind of awesome. And I think my range is I think it's 60 to 70 kilometers, which is like a lot, and I only recharge it once a week, so it's not really high maintenance, and you just plug it into a regular outlet to recharge it. You don't need you don't need anything stronger than that. I'll make some videos this summer of my e-scooter. It is like literally the funnest thing ever. I absolutely love it. I couldn't wait for this spring to come so I could get on my e-scooter. So we got these equal highs here, and here is this equal high level above. So this is the level I'm looking at. So let's get some sort of a pullback into the 50% range, and then we can try a long. So, we're strong on the higher time frame. And here is the ultimate goal up at 21,820. That's the buy side. Come on, let's see a retracement. You know you want to. My dog and I were up early this morning, and we had a nice long walk. We went to a cafe, grabbed a coffee, and luckily the rain held off. My dog, he's a Portuguese water dog, but he hates the rain. Like, he just won't walk in the rain. He just puts his bum down on the sidewalk and digs his front paws in, and he's like, I'm not walking in this stuff, Mom. I call him the non-Portuguese water dog. Oh, come on. Let's give us a pullback a little bit more generous. One of the YouTube content creators and great traders that I follow is Solomon King. And he has taught me the art of patience, waiting for price to come into a discount area before taking the trade and just not compromising on that whatsoever. And I've been following him for at least a year. Again, his name is Solomon King. You can check him out. He is such a patient trader. He's fully ICT trader, and I have learned so much from him. I think he's like one of the understated traders, you know, like he's pure quality. I haven't seen him like on interviews or anything, and he's just gold. He's real quality. He just released an ebook. I think it's like $9. I'm going to purchase it, and it's basically everything that you need to know about ICT. You know, if you want to kind of, I'm not suggesting like you shortcut your learning, because you know that's not good. But as like a reference, his ebook looks fantastic. I've seen portions of it, snippets of it, because he shows snippets of it in some of his videos. So you can check him out. He does kind of open up the ebook in some of his last few videos. So you know what? Probably the best $9 you're going to spend on his ebook. And everything is just well presented, and he just breaks down entries, what to look for, what time to look for the entries. So if you're looking for sort of like a complete ICT guide, as complete as you can get, it's still a shortcut, but definitely check him out. I'll put a link in the description of this video to his YouTube site. So down here we have our order block, which has already been mitigated. And I'll just put that in. That's the order block. It's already been mitigated though. So here's our fair value gap, closed above, created price came in. So this is mitigated, so I'm not waiting for price to come back down here, but I would like price to come here, or at least to the 50% mark, which is anywhere in this green box. take a look at ES. Here's buy side up here at 6,006. Nice even round number. Still ranging. You know, prices just range in a range. Give us a pullback, please. As Solomon King says, 90% of your time you're looking for a great setup, and 10% of the time you're executing and in a trade. So, but those are the trades worth waiting for. You know, it's very easy to jump into a trade or think that you're missing out, or wanting to get that hit of dopamine. But Solomon King is a very patient trader, and his trades are like long runs, sometimes like 400 points. So he waits for those setups where there's a high probability and a really good run. And you know what? You only need a couple of those a week. You don't need to be jumping into trades left, right, and center. Or that's just my humble opinion. That's where I've kind of come to as a trader. I'm trading a lot less, and my results are a lot better. And much less mental capital. So here we have over here a long-term higher high, and we just wicked above that. So maybe we get a bit of a retracement off of that before continuing higher. Well, this is definitely not the mission impossible of price action, is it? I keep checking my Wi-Fi to make sure my connection is still on. It's like the market does not have a pulse. I think it was the last video that ICT did, which was May the 29th. I think he talks about, if I recall, he talks about seasonality. Normally, seasonality at this time is the market's a little slower, but he said that seasonality this year was quite different, that we were quite bullish and the market was moving much more than what it would normally do at this time of year. So could check out his video, May the 29th. I'll put a link in the description to his video if you haven't seen it yet. He talks a little bit about that. Next week is the first week of June, and we'll have non-farm payroll. I haven't yet looked at the calendar, but I will this weekend as I prepare my charts for next week. But we'll see what next week brings in terms of price action. Non-farm payroll, I always trade a little bit lighter on that week. Be a little more patient for setups and size down. I'm starting to think about breakfast. There's this great little breakfast spot around the corner from me, and oh my God, it's like literally, those places where they just make breakfast. They specialize in just making breakfast. I think they close at 2 p.m. so you can have breakfast up until, if you're there by 1 p.m. kind of thing. And it's run by a Greek family that, oh my God, it is amazing food. Like some of the best breakfast food I've ever had. Whoever's in the kitchen really knows what they're doing. So I'm starting to think about breakfast. I'm starting to think, come on, either my trade presents or it doesn't. And if it doesn't, I'm going out for breakfast. Put in the description below if you guys have a favorite breakfast place in the area that you live, and if that's something that you guys do once a week or on the weekends or something. You know who's another extremely patient trader is Awake FX. He is an extremely patient trader as well, and he just waits for those great setups. I'm not following him today. I don't even know if he's live streaming, but you can check him out. And he often, I've learned a lot about patience from him, but he often, the run up goes, and he's not part of it because he chooses not to be part of it, and then he just patiently waits for that pullback. So I'm thinking about him this morning. I wonder if he's like in the same position I am, that I'm waiting for this pullback. And I'm going to put a link to his site in the description below. So I'm going to give you a Solomon King, Awake FX, and ICT's most recent video, May 29th video. Just writing that down so I don't forget. Oh, come on, give us a pullback. Give us a pullback. Here's our break of structure on the 1 minute anyway. So price needs to come back down here. Please. If there's no trade for me this morning, I'm not coming back this afternoon to look for a trade. It's Friday. It's, I'm not coming back at 1:30 to look for an afternoon trade. So if there's nothing here for me this morning, then I'll be back Monday. I'd rather leave the market on Friday without a trade than leave the market Friday with a loss. It's 10:39. My dog is having a nice nap. I don't know if you'd be able to see him. Let's see. There. Oh, there he is. There he is. He looks like a big carpet on the floor there. There he is. Oh, there he is. Having a nice little nappers. He had a good long walk this morning. He's pure black, so he just looks like a big piece of carpet. So price currently is right at the settlement price from yesterday. So yesterday at 414, when price last candle, that's where price is just dipping below that now. Let's see if we can get a pullback into discount. If you notice on this price action, like there's very few fair value gaps. Price is just not really moving this morning. It's like a slow grind. But I really want to see price come. It's got to come back into the discount area for me to even consider. And then the other consideration is that, well, it's going to be like 11 o'clock soon, and it's not the greatest time to enter a trade, that's for sure. As I said earlier, if price comes to me and meets my criteria or requirements for a trade, happy to take it. And if not, happy to wait for next week. I have a lot to journal today. Some of the things that I journal is when I see price movement like this. So price came down earlier this morning, like around 8 o'clock, and had this nice wick, took out liquidity. Price moved up and then came back down, didn't take out this low. But this is, I see this set up time and time again, and then price goes along from there. So this is something that I'm going to be journaling about this morning or this afternoon. I'll probably go have breakfast first. I see this time and time again. So, I think when you see this like 1,000 times, you develop more confidence in taking this kind of a setup. The other thing that I'm going to be journaling is I'm keeping track of how many points is between the 8 to 9:30 high and low, and I'm going to be documenting how many points it is on a daily basis. So does price move better when it's a 100-point spread? Today was a 200-point spread, so is price more likely to move above and below a 200-point spread between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. Like, these are some of the things that I journal, and over time I become more familiar with. And so these are some of the things that I journal. It's not always when I take a trade that I journal. I look at key things, key markers on the charts, things that are of interest, and I journal that, and then I go back and read my journal notes. And because I think, if you look at a trader who's been trading 5 to 10 years, they see these setups time and time and time and time and time again, and I think they just have time in the books, like there's nothing that replaces time on the charts. And when you see these setups for 5 to 10 years, you have a lot more confidence in taking them versus a trader that only has like 1 to 3 years, right? This has been such a range in here. I'm so glad I'm not stuck in this. It's like death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's that grain of sand in your shoe. It's not the sand dune that kills you. It's that one grain of sand in your shoe that's the most irritating. That's how I feel right now watching this price action. Ugh. I think I need to get some of those, like stress ball things. Those squeezy toys that you can like just play with in your hands, so that you're not just sitting here waiting for the paint to dry. I think I may have to get some of those. Nothing with a squeaker in it, because it'll drive my dog nuts, but my dog will think it's his toy. But I need some of those stress toys. I think I need to look for some of those on Amazon. If you guys have some like really good fun stress ball toys, link them in the description below so I can take a look. Mitigation block on the 1 minute. Right, so price comes down, moves back up. There's the mitigation block. Price drops down. Or sorry, the fair value gap, but with a it's a mitigation. Price respecting the SIBI. These are all setups, for scalpers. These are the things that scalpers are using to trade, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the longer runs. So, I see these things, but I'm not taking those trades, because it's not what I trade. It's not where my interest is. My interest is in price coming back down to discount. And then I have to consider that we're coming up to 11 o'clock. And if I entered a trade, does it have any Does it have any legs in it today? It's Friday. I don't know. Put in the description below whether, if price came back into discount, if you would take a long on today's price action. There's one big fat range in here. This is just ugly, right? Let's just take a look on the hour. So we had a nice push up, but we just have not broken above here. Equal highs of this range. You know, I'd love to see a break above here and then a move up to here. Whether we're going to do this on a Friday afternoon, I don't know. Somebody pour some kerosene and light the match. So it's 10:56. I'm going to leave at 11. I'm going to go have breakfast. I have no interest in this price action this morning. So I'll probably leave it at that. And I'll put the links in the description below for Solomon King, Awake FX, and ICT's May 29th video, where he talks about seasonality a little bit and price action for May in general. There are better trading days ahead. It's worth waiting for them. Okay, well, it's 11 o'clock, so I'm done for the morning. There's nothing here for me today. And, it's a 10 out of 10 day for me because I showed up, uh, did my morning routine, ready for price action. It didn't come to me this morning, so there you go. I'll be ready for Monday. So I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Get off the charts, go have fun, do something fun, and I will see you guys next week. So take care and have an awesome, awesome weekend. Bye for now.